Hello friends, this is Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial. We are going to make this beautiful, beautiful Sunburst Granny Square. It is not hard to make, so if you've not made one similar like this before, don't get scared. You're going to be able to do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I used loops and threads, soft classic yarn in 3 different colors. There's mushroom, dark taupe, and mauve. I bought 1 ball of each color. And you know, if you make these 3 granny squares here, I went ahead and I used 3 full balls to see how many granny squares I could make. And when you make equal amounts in 3 different kinds like this, I got 9 of each square. Unbelievable. That's 27 squares out of 1 ball of each color. And so I'll put the meters and the grams or whatever in the description box below so that you see how big each ball is. But I thought that was fantastic. But we are going to make this ivory one here. So thank you again for joining me. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would really, really appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Have fun, my friends. If you are ready to begin this tutorial, we are going to take our mushroom color because we're going to make this one, okay, the lighter one. So we're going to start with that mushroom color and end with the mushroom color. Let me set those aside. We're going to take our yarn tail and we're going to make a slip knot and put it on our eye hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. We're going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. From there, you're going to go into the 4th chain on your hook from your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the first one that you did. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull that loop through, and then pull it through the loop on your hook. That's a slip knot to join. And you'll see that little center there that we're going to be working into. We're going to now chain 2, 1 and 2. If you are a brand new crocheter and you don't know some of these stitches, I want you to go to my playlist on my channel. Click on crochet and I will teach you how to do different stitches so that this becomes easier for you, okay? This is not a teaching tutorial where I'm teaching you how to do each one of these stitches, but I will go at a slow enough pace that if you're a beginner, you will be reminded of how to do them, okay? So we have our chain 2. We're going to count that as our first double crochet. Now we're going to put 15 actual double crochets into the center. We're going to yarn over, go into that center, yarn over, pull up a loop. I want you to bring that loop up so that it's the same height as these first 2. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, and go through 2. That's our first double crochet, but again, we're counting this, so we've got 2. We're going to have 16 in total, so 15 actual double crochets plus our chain 2 is 16. So you're going to yarn over, go into that center, yarn over, pull up a loop, bring it up so it's the same height, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. I'm going to just pull this up a little bit. We're going to grab ourselves a stitch marker. And you're going to put that into the top of your chain 2. So we know that we've done 2 double crochets. There's this one and this one. That would make this our top of our chain 2. Pop that in there so you know where the end is. When we are making our double crochets, we are going to carry our tail so that we're hiding it as we go. So you're going to yarn over, go into the center. You're going to make sure that tail is on top of your hook. Yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. We've essentially got 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every so often when it's tight, you just push those down, slide them down that little circle so that you have more room. This is 5, 6, 7, yarn over, into the loop, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm carrying that tail still, 12, I'm going to move those down, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So counting the chain 2 and 15 double crochets makes 16. I believe that's right, but I'm going to just pull up on that and I'm going to double check. All right, so I know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I've got them all there. And you are going to want to double check, because if you are a short one or more than 16, it will throw your pattern off. So I'm going to take that tail in the back and I'm going to just pull it to close that circle. Just like that. Now we carried that around. We're going to hide it still just a little bit once we get this closed. I'm going to then go to that first double crochet right there, not where my chain 2 was. I just put that in so that I would count it. I'm going to go to that first one and I'm going to put my hook in, slip stitch to join. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull it through that loop one more time, cut off my tail, pull that through. I can go ahead and take that stitch marker off right there. And then from there, we're going to hide this back tail. I hide my tails as I go. I never wait till the end of a square and then hide all the tails. We go after each row. But because we went around this center all the way once, I'm just going to go back a few in the other direction. Just one time. Just like that, cut it off. We're going to take this tail and we're going to just go through both loops. So I'm going to just take that next stitch, go from the back to the front, pull it through. Then I'm going to go into the next one, go from the front to the back and pull it through. And then from the back to the front, pull it through. That's 3 times. This is 4 times. And one more time, always an odd number so that it's at the back when you're done. And that's 5. I'm going to cut it off, just leaving just a little bit of a tail there. Not much, but we're going to hide that in the next round, so no worries. For this next round, we're going to take our second color, which for me is the dark taupe. And we're going to find where that knot is right there. It doesn't matter, you can go in between any of these stitches, but I'm going to start back here. I'm going to just go in between these 2 stitches. I'm going to pop my hook in there. I'm going to grab the yarn, and I'm going to pull it through. Then I'm going to tie a knot to secure. 1 and 2. We're going to hide this as we go. We are now going to do our puff stitches, which is 3 half double crochets together, really is what it is. So I'm going to go into that same space. I'm going to yarn over, bring up a loop, and chain 1 just to start, just like that. That's how I have just fastened my yarn. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 half double crochets together, which is a puff stitch. Yarn over, go into that same space, making sure your tail is over top of your hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 1 time. Yarn over, go into that space. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's the 2nd time. Yarn over, go into that space. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's the 3rd time. You should have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you have 7 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over, pull through all 7, and chain 1. That is our first puff stitch. We're going to go then into that next space between those 2 double crochets right there, and make sure you carry your tail. Yarn over, go into that space, yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 1, 2, and 3. You should have 7 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through all 7, chain 1. We have 2 puff stitches. Now we're going to go into the next one, and we're going to do that all the way around. 1, 2, always pulling that loop up so it's the same height, and 3. Yarn over, go through all 7 loops, chain 1. Into that next space. I'm still carrying my back here. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, go through all 7, chain 1. You're going to do that all the way around, and we will end with 16 puff stitches. I'll meet you when you get to the end. I am almost all the way around. I stopped and I counted, and I have 15 puff stitches, so I have 1 more to go. So fun. I love doing the puff stitches. 1 more, so 1, 2, and 3. Pull through all 7, chain 1. Then I'm going to join at the top of the first stitch, which is this one right here. It's the obvious V-stitch that's there. It's not the chain, it's the stitch. The end of that first half double crochet. Slip stitch to join, yarn over, pull through the loop, and we're going to cut off a little tail. When you go to the back, I carried this, let's see, where is it? I carried it for about 8 puff stitches, 8 or 9 puff stitches, and now I'm going to just cut that off. And so that's hidden just like that. There's that little tail that I left just to make sure it got caught. Now I can trim that little guy off too, and we're good to go. From there, we're going to take this tail and we're going to hide it the same way. We're going to go underneath that first stitch, yarn over, pull it through both. Then go from the front to the back, yarn over, and I'm going under both stitches because I find it looks better. Well, you can't tell at all when you go under both. Rather than going under just half of the stitch, like the back loop or the front loop, I'm going under both loops. And then this one, and because it's coming out the front, I got to make sure I do it one more time to come out the back. There we go. And again, I'm going to leave just a little bit because I want to be able to see that I've totally covered it, and then we'll trim it off after we get the second or the next row on. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to grab our third color. We're going to attach it the same way. Pop your hook into, you can choose any center. Now I choose one different from the beginning. Now you can't tell at all where my beginning, well, you know it's right there, but I always just go over and put my join somewhere else. Okay, but you can join it in the same spot if you like. It's all up to you. I'm going to pull that through. We're going to tie a knot. I'm not tying it so tight that I compromise the look of the stitch on the row below. I just tie it so that it just is secure. Then we're going to carry this one along. We are going to do the cluster stitch, which is double crochet 4 together. But now that I have that tied on, I'm going to pop my hook into that center, yarn over, bring it through. Then I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2. This does not count as part of my 4 double crochets together. I'm going to carry that tail. We're going to yarn over, go into that same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2. That's 1 time. Yarn over, go into that same space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2. That's the second double crochet that wasn't completed. We're going to do it a 3rd time and a 4th time. Going through 2. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over, go through all 5, chain 2. Okay? Then we're going to go into that next space. I'm going to continue carrying that pink yarn. We're going to yarn over, go into that space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2. That's an incompleted double crochet. That's the first one. We're going to do it again. Go through 2. That's 2. 3 and 4 double crochets, always 5 loops on the hook, join them all together. You've done 4 double crochets together, and that's called a cluster stitch, and we're going to chain 2. You're going to do that in between each of those little spaces. Now you're going to look at this one here. This is where our chain 2 was. Looks a little bit different. So don't make a mistake and go in between that chain 2 and that cluster. You're going to go across into this cluster here. So just recognize it'll be hard to get into there, but just recognize that is not a cluster on its own and you don't go in between there. That's part of this set right there, of that puff right there. So yarn over, go into that next space and double crochet 4 together as previously done. 3. And you say, oh, how many did I do? I forgot if I did 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. You count the loops on your hook. We need to always have 5. There we go. 5 loops on our hook, yarn over, go through all 5, chain 2. I'm going to continue that all the way around. So I have 16 cluster stitches. Or clusters, I guess you would call them, not cluster stitches. There we go. Through all 5, chain 2. See how fast, once you get the idea of how to do each row, you can scoot through these granny squares. I'm not kidding you. It doesn't take long. This is 3 and 4. Pull out the tension from my ball. yarn over, go through all 5 loops, chain 2. I'm going to continue around, see you at the end. I have made it around. I'm going to double check my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have one more, and that works out perfectly right in between that space. And the 4th, 5 loops, yarn over, go through all 5, chain 2. You're going to attach at the very top stitch there, not on the chain 2, but the very top of that half double crochet. Yarn over, and it's an easy stitch to see. Yarn over, pull through, oops, and pull through, yarn over, cut off your tail, pull that through and tighten it. We're going to take that tail that we were carrying. And this one, I'm just going to, because they're, you know, it's not any wider, I guess, so I wouldn't have to, but I'm just going to take this back just a little bit. Feel for this row. I don't know what makes me think I have to do that, but better safe than sorry. There we go. Now we've got that row beautifully done. We're going to take our tail. And we're going to do the same thing. It's an easy way to hide your tail because you're going to cover it with stitches anyways. And so it just is fast, gets them out of your way. And one more. And this one row I always go back in and go the opposite direction at the end too. There we go. Now we're going to take our center color, our mushroom color, and we're going to do our edging to make it a square. Tying it on the same way, pick a section, go in there, grab it. We're going to tie this on. You wonder what maybe are wondering, why don't you just do a color change and just in the last loops change your color and do it that way? And that would be a good question. And I have done it, and I'm going to show you the reason why. If I can find one. When you do, you end up with a little line there that you can see, and we are going to prevent that. With these kinds of stitches, joining it this way I find just works the best, and it's the most invisible for not seeing a line anywhere. Like, look how perfect that is. It just looks gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to go in, do the same thing we did before, yarn over, bring it up, chain 2. In this round, my friends, that is counting as a double crochet. I'm going to hold my tail, yarn over, go back in, do another double crochet, and one more. We've got 3 double crochets in this space. Okay, this is where I drop this and I hide it later because I think there's a gap in there. Like when you look at this, you see these spaces because of the way the stitching that we're doing, and I don't want to see that trailing. So I only caught it with these first 2 stitches, and then we're going to hide it later. So we've done 3 double crochets. We've got a chain 2 and 2 double crochets. We are now going to do a corner. So you're going to do a treble. Yarn over, into that next, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That is a treble stitch. Push that over, do it again. Yarn over, into that space, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, go through 2, and then I always pinch the stem of that stitch so I can go through the next 2 times, and it helps. And then through 2 and through 2. That's 2 trebles. Push that over, yarn over, into that same space, drop a loop, yarn over, go through 2, through 2, and through 2. We've got 3 trebles done. In that same space, we're going to push those over. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to do 3 more trebles. Yarn over, into that space, yarn over, go through 2, oops, and go through 2. Push that over, yarn over, into the space, yarn over, draw up a loop, pull it up so it's the same height, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So we've got 3 trebles, a chain 2, we've done 2 trebles, we need to do 1 more. That is always what our corner is going to look like. Now we're going to do what our sides look like, and then I'll show you. I'll put it on the table. So after every corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets into that next space. 1, 2, and 3. Then into the very next space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. Yarn over, into that space, yarn over, draw up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through all 3. That's 1 half double crochet. This is 2 and 3. Then after that set of half double crochets, you're going to do 3 more double crochets in that next space. Yarn over, go through 2 and go through 2. That's 1 double crochet. And 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. This is always what it's going to be. You've got your corner, which is 3 trebles, chain 2, 3 trebles. Then your side, which is 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 3 double crochets. We're going to now repeat that. We're going to do our corner again. So into this next space, 3 trebles. And 1 more. Push them all over. Chain 2. And 3 trebles, all into that same space. Then, if we're following our patterning, we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next space. Right there. 1 and 2 and 3. Into the next space, 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And into the next, 3 double crochets. 1. And when I get that stitch done, oops, my yarn is tangling around there. I can just pull this over with my hook actually too. And then I just go like this with my finger and my hook and it pulls over. I don't have to stop and do it in another motion. And that's 3. So now we've got our corner, 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 3 double crochets. We're going to do another corner. Second treble and the third treble, chain 2 and 3 more trebles. Oopsie, let me just do that one again. And that's the third. Then we know along the sides, 3 double crochet into the next. Three half double crochet into the next. 3 double crochet into the next. And our final corner. Isn't that beautiful, friends? It's gorgeous. You're going to do your last corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, and you're going to meet me back. Finishing up the 3 half double crochets. Now we started with our double crochets, our chain 2 and 2 double crochets. You're going to go into the top of that double crochet, not into the top of the chain 2, but the top of the double crochet. And you're going to slip stitch to join. Yarn over, pull through, cut off your tail, And you have this beautiful, beautiful granny square. Now I'm going to take my tails. This one I only caught under the 2 double crochets, as you might remember. And we're going to just go down into that chain. Go across. And then come across again. It's just a small section, but it works. Pull that. Don't pull so tight that you compromise the look of your grouping there. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to do the same thing. Bring that down through that stitch. Oops. I love these needles. These are metal wool needles. I know somebody's going to ask me. Metal wool needles. This is the smallest of a pack of 3 different sizes. I get them on Amazon, but you can also get them at Walmart. I love them because they're so easy to thread, like what you just saw me do. But the problem is if you have a really short tail, it falls out really easily too. So if you're not paying attention, that's what happens. I'm just going to go across, get underneath those little stitches there, and then come back, pull it through, cut it off. And I'm going to secure this one a little bit more as well. So these are the 3 granny squares that we can get from 3 different colors of yarn. You can make more variations too, but this is how I do it. I start and I end with the same color. Okay, so we did ivory, taupe, mauve, mauve, ivory, taupe, mauve, taupe, mauve, ivory, taupe. But you figure it out, friends, the way you need to figure it out. But there you go. That's how you make a sunburst granny square. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, friends. If you did, be sure to remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and come over to my Facebook group, Koala Knits and Knacks. I'll have the description in the link below. Love for you to come join us over there and have you be a part of that group. So take care, friends. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a blessed day.